Jesus Christ story. I'm so happy to join you this wonderful evening again on this wonderful edition of Parenting with Tim Carl. Can you see me, Tim Carl? Good evening to you, Tim Carl. How are you doing today?
Oh, amazing, amazing.
Tim Carl, can you hear me? Good evening to you, Tim Carl.
Hello, good evening.
Hello. Good evening, sir. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear, please.
Thank you so much. Can
Yes,
you
we
hear
can.
me? Can you see me as well on Instagram?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can.
Oh, it seems. Okay.
Definitely. We can.
Did you see the magic I'm performing on Instagram?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see that.
So just trying to do one, two things.
Yeah.
Okay. But I think it's okay like this.
Better than.
Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, we are with Tim Carl, Florence, and Chukwueke Carl on Parenting with Tim Carl. Wonderful evening to you, family. How are you doing, sir?
Oh,
Very well.
fantastic, fantastic.
Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm glad to let you know that this is Wildlife Heralding the name of Jesus Christ. We herald the name of Jesus Christ in marketplace for marketplace, leveraging the marketplace principle. And we inspire the world to go into their. Sorry, 1 minute. We herald the name of Jesus Christ in marketplace for marketplace, leveraging on marketplace principles, and we inspire people to go into their field, to take their place in their field. On Mondays, every Mondays between 8 p.m. West African time, we have people share their Jesus Christ story, the efficacy of Jesus Christ in their life. On Tuesday, we do also 8 p.m. Jesus Christ story, and on Wednesday, we have Tim Carl teaching us about parenting, the new ways of parenting. Well, somebody once said the illiterate of today are those who cannot unlearn to learn, in order for them to learn. So Tim Carr has what it takes. We have the manual on what it takes to have 21st century lesson of being a greater and a better parenting. Thank you so much. And on Thursday we do have team election and we talk about family lifetime and it's also technology and parenting. And we started this session last 2 weeks and we concluded this session again this today. And we'll be talking about the when, why, how, and what parents need to know about technology in order for them to actually understand what it means to be a 21st century parent. And I have with me Tim Carl. Over to you, Tim Carl. Who are you for those joining us for the first time on Instagram? And before we proceed, I'm like to let you know we are live on Facebook, we are live on YouTube, and we are live as well on Twitter as well, Periscope. Also, we are live on Instagram. So I have Tim Carl with me. Tim Carl, over to you. How are you doing this wonderful evening, Tim Carl?
We're fine. We're fine. We're doing well. How are you?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good
If
evening.
you be sincere, what have you done to my chairman? He's too quiet. This one that we give me. What have you done to him?
He's booting. He's booting. You know him. he's gathering his momentum. What have I done to you?
Oh,
Well,
this is
Oh my
this is
goodness.
wildlife. This is wildlife talk. So we are free to say. So over to you, Timmy Cow. Technology and parenting. Over to you. Let's just start from where we stopped last time. Technology and parenting. Just a brief of what we discussed, so that we can go to today's topic. Technology and parenting. So over to you, Tim Cow.
Okay, so are you going first?
Yeah, go first.
So I think in summary, what I would say is you don't have is like asking a child what's the shape of water, and really water does not have a shape. It will take whatever shape the container has. And the same thing when you ask someone, is a gun a good thing or a bad thing? The truth is the gun is neither a good thing or a bad thing. The only difference is the person who has the gun. So the gun will assume the character of the owner of the gun. The same thing with water. And the same thing applies to technology. Technology in parenting is neither bad or good. It will only assume the posture or the mindset of the person using it. And that is why it's so important. And beyond just being important, it's very important that both parents and children are grounded, because it is what has been met in that child that will be expressed through technology. Um, so it's very important. So I think this is just a summary based on our discussion so far. That
Thank
technology only
you.
amplifies.
Okay. Over to you, ma'am. You must have something to add addition to that.
Yeah, obviously, like Carl said, um, part of what we talked about last week is the fact that technology itself is not the problem, because technology has come to stay. Technology is important. Technology is an important tool in 21st century parenting. So, I mean, one of the things he said was that it is not, water itself does not have a shape. It is the container that gives it the shape. Whatever, if water is in a well, it automatically has the round shape of the well. So if you put water in a bucket, it takes the shape of the bucket. So it is the application of technology that is the concept. I think one of the things we even mentioned is that it's dangerous to withdraw certain things that has got to do with technology from your children, because they may not be able to fit into the world. It's a reality that has come to stay. It is managing the process and understanding how to go about it that matters. I mean, it's like saying that you want to, in a digital world, you want to begin to write a letter and post it. I mean, your letter will just sit on the road for 1,000 days and all of that. When there are easier ways of disseminating and passing across information. So that's just what it is in parenting. And the when we talk about it is what you put into it that matters. We talk about the values. So I mean, I think that's part of what we're going to be exploring today, because I've had parents saying to me that, but I am scared, I'm concerned. How do I leave my, how do I just allow my child have access to technology? How do I leave a gadget for my child just like that? I mean, a lot of things are happening online that will not take us to values and a lot of other things that has been imbibed into the child. Withdrawing the child from technology isn't the solution. It is when the child is well guided. But I mean, we didn't really explore that on well guided. We were just last time we were just talking about the importance of
Okay.
technology. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we'll move to today's edition of the event, which is so one of the first thing I'll be discussing is what do parents need to know about technology? What are the things parents, if you have the kids, they know a lot of things, even from the womb. They can be browsing your checking or everything, even from the womb. But the parents, what do they need to know with this technology? What are the key things parents need to get themselves to get themselves familiarized with in this tech world? The basic things. It might not be, but the basic things that they need to know so that young people won't use what they call wavelength to to cheat their parents. What are the key things parents need to know first? Over to you, Tim Carl.
Okay. Every would I say system has in it inbuilt controls. It's like having a car. The car comes with a braking system, um, and with technology, um, there are certain controls that are built into every system. Um, whether it's an app, whether it's a platform, and all of that. Unfortunately, very unfortunate thing is that most parents, especially African parents, are very, well, I say, brain lazy when it comes to reading and doing their due diligence. Um, so there are basics, that every parent, needs to know. And like we said, if you do not have engagement with your children, you don't even know the platforms they are on. But if you have that conversation and you know the platforms that your children are on, then it's just important that you're also on those platforms, basically, so that um, you understand the, how will I put it, the basic functionalities of each of those platforms, because you cannot change what you do not know. You cannot monitor what you do not know. So I always say that the first step is engagement. You need to engage. I cannot talk to a child or try to correct a child who's using Facebook and I know nothing about Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. So the first point of managing children is engagement. You need to engage. You need to understand what is on all of those platforms, how it works, what makes it tick. Each of the platforms, I mean, especially I'm talking about the social media platforms, have their uniqueness. Whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, they have their specific uniqueness and what attracts people to them. So you need to understand what each of these platforms, what their uniqueness is. Um, then for the issues about, I mean, there are privacy issues with technology world over. But again, my major concern is that parents need to understand that, like I said, it's not about the technology; it's about who's using the technology. And they need to understand. They need to be concerned for their children, because even this device we're using, whatever the device it is, once you have a camera on your device, it means that you can be you can basically be monitored and spied
Monitored.
on.
Yeah.
All the things on your computer, on your device, your conversations and all of that. It automatically leaves a backdoor to it. And I was telling a friend that every picture you post online can be audited. We can know the time, the place you posted it, the device from which you posted it, and so much. There's so much you can tell from just the picture that somebody posted. So it leaves it's when young people are on social media, there's a lot of vulnerability it brings to them. So parents need to understand that if their children are engaging so much, there's a lot of vulnerability, not just to the children also, but also to the parents, especially these days of kidnapping, cyberbullying, and so much. So parents need to understand these peculiarities. And so the when it comes to privacy, set, that's why I think it's very important that you need to know the platforms your children are on. It's very important, and why. Some of them are for basically for. I mean, now we understand the hybrid learning model, which means that children will partly learn online and offline. So obviously, it has come to stay. But beyond that, we are asking, why are you on the platform you are on? what makes it tick? What are you learning from them? How you and each of these platforms have their uniqueness. So there's no one size that fits it all. Is that the parents should continually engage, and then help to protect the children, because it's a very dangerous space out there. The cyber world is a very dangerous place.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm going to ask you, ma'am, why to technology and parenting? You know, I asked chairman that what do parents need to know, and he shared about some platforms. We talked about the privacy. We talked about what young people do online. That why parents what our parents can actually engage them. So I'm asking you, ma'am, why should parents get involved in this kind of a thing? Can we say, is that not betrayal of trust of their own words? Are they not are they backing into their world's privacy? So why must they do these things you're talking about? Over to you, ma'am.
So thank you. Parents should first of all make peace with their reasons before they execute it. Make peace with your why and be sincere about your why. So if I want to tell you a genuine why, as a family life therapist or as someone that is in the space, I would say that I'll pick some things from what Carl said, because it is a dangerous world out there, and because the children are minors, whether you like it or not. You get it? And then because you want to protect them in your little way, as much as we want to give them the liberty, we also want to curtail it. We want to control it a bit because of how dangerous it is there. So these are very sincere whys. You want to know what they know. You want to know what they have access to help you parent them the more. Again, another good why. You want to see if they are battling a bit of esteem issues, because I hope you know that the media out there has a way of making people feel lower than they. It's a fake word. People used to call it the make-believe word. So you want to understand the extent to which your child is being influenced out there, so you can balance up at home. It can influence your discussions and your teachings in a very constructive manner. I'm trying to take the wise one after the other. Now, looking at all of these whys, yes, it is coming from a place of love. It is coming from a place of concern. It is coming from a place of teaching and preparing your child for the future in terms of values and all of that. But if your why is different, just because you are the parent, if your why is controlling, if your why is to just be in charge, and your why is so powerful that it can be silent yet loud enough. Your why can be silent yet loud enough. So if the reason you want to get involved with some of the things Carl talked about is because you want to exercise your right as a parent, you just want to be like, I have control over you. That is not a genuine concern. There will always be a conflict between you and your children, because the first why I talked about, if that is really your why, you would, in fact, your child will, it won't cause any form of friction, because you won't even throw it at the child's face. You will do that from the place of friendship, yet leadership. So it will be from a combination of friendship and leadership. You know when to become the child's friends to talk about the things that are happening, and you know when to lead the child. But if it is coming from the place of, because I am your parents, children have a way of putting parents to their place, and they will open several other accounts that you do not have access to. So if your why is coming from If your why is coming from the place of whatever you are seeing, it will form the devotion for that night. They will run away from you. But if it is coming from the place of being on their pedestal and talking to them, making them see what the truth is, understanding the challenges, because technologies have challenges in this century. You see, these children, they're also going through a lot. It is not their fault. They are in the world right now that technology is important. So if you come from the place of empathy to say that during my days growing up, I didn't have this kind of distractions. It was not compulsory to school online. But this day, my child has to school online to be able to pass some courses. Empathy sets in. I pity this child. Because the truth is, it takes a lot of strength. Even as parents, how many times have we been able to withstand temptation? It takes a lot of strength to be on Zoom class and then a WhatsApp message pops up or a video pops up on Instagram and then you are battling it. You didn't have such distractions when you were growing up as a parent. Empathy has come in now. So when you feed in each of these, it will now help. It shows your why. Your why is because you want to churn out a total child.
Awesome. Awesome. You must be a professor on this journey. Thank you for breaking this down. I hope we are learning. I hope we are learning. Mr. Carl, if we're going to talk about, we've talked about why, and in your first presentation, you picked out. So now, when can parents start doing this? When can they start doing this? When can they make this an intentional thing? A man once told me about a little girl that was kidnapped few years ago, but because the parents were technological savvy, they were able to switch on the microphone from their own end. So they were listening to the conversation, which really, really helped out. So I'm saying this, you talk about why. When should parents start learning and about this thing? And what are the things they should learn? What are the services? What are the services you can help parents with to increase their knowledge in technological field? Over to you, Pascal.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the question. I think that um, so it's a two-pronged question. Um, what are the things that could be learned, and when they can be learned? So I do not have a straightforward answer for that, and this is simply because technology evolves fast and faster every day. And whatever you know today in the next couple of months becomes obsolete. So it is important for parents. It is not a one-off thing. It is a continuous journey.
Way of life.
Um, when we started with instant messaging, we started with BlackBerry, right? With BlackBerry, we couldn't send messages. You couldn't do all of that. Now we have WhatsApp. We have Telegram. Now every day there's an improvement. You have disappearing messages. You have this. So every day um, technology is progressing, and you can't say, "Oh, because I learned about BlackBerry or I learned about the technology, then I'm cool." You need to consistently evolve, except you'll be very obsolete. And children also like their parents to be,
Up to date.
up to date,
Yeah.
and can engage with them. Um, the truth is, if you ask yourself when, um, children are digital natives, so it means that right from when they are born to probably maybe when they are 5, a child without any formal education can find his way around a phone or a mobile device. Does it mean you should give direct access to that child? Not really, not necessarily, right? But because, like I said, and that's the key, you want the child to be fit for purpose, fit for purpose in the future the child will live in. it then means that you need to deliberately, deliberately, because like I said, it's not about the technology. The technology will take the shape of the person who is using it. So you need to pour so much into that child so that when it is time for the child to engage technology, it becomes a positive tool in the hand of the child.
Sorry, did he say when for the child or when for the parents?
For the parents.
Okay, when parents should get involved in
Yes,
technology.
yeah. You know. So it's very important. So parents should get even if you are not a you currently don't have children, you need to. There was a day I was asking myself, why am I not on TikTok? Why am I not on? And I joined. Because it's important that I understand what is happening there. It's important that I know what people are doing there, even if I don't have children who are there right now. But I know what is happening. And then if people are migrating from TikTok, they are going to Clubhouse, they are doing this, I need to keep moving so that I know what is happening. So I'm a step ahead of my children, right? I'm a step ahead of my children. So whatever it is they're telling me about, I'm here, I'm on this platform, I have an idea and I'm able to guide. I'm not going to, how will I put it? Because what we do as parents, we just
Catch up.
instantly criticize and and drop the hammer on the children. But you're able to guide because you understand what happens on those platforms, right? But again, beyond just platforms, technology is so broad. Like if for example you have a 5-year-old who's already so much engaged in coding, script writing, and all of this, is a graphic artist. There are so many platforms, there are so many technologies that can help that child improve and become better. And if you as a parent do not have access to those informations, how do you help that child to become better? So it's a continuous process. You understand where that child is going, you understand how you intend to help that child, and how you want to leverage technology to help that child. Because most of us are just lazy, because what we are doing, we're already comfortable in our skin. We are not willing to expand. For example, now, Bratayo, with the technologies we are using, you understand how you are continuously improving yourself, right? And saying, oh, you know what, let's just stay the way it is. So it's a continuous process, because tomorrow I can guarantee you that we'll not be broadcasting using these softwares. They would have evolved, and we'll have new technologies, we'll have things that so if you don't consistently prepare yourself, you continuously miss out. So it's important that parents deliberately help their children, and expose their children to technology. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You made it simple. You said it's important that parents should be deliberate about this. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm so happy. If I'm going to ask you, what are the precautions you are taking as a parent in monitoring your own work? What are the precautions? Tell us. And
Okay, so
how are you doing this? How are you doing the precautions you are observing and engaging? And how are you doing all those things? At the same
okay,
time,
so
still putting the relationship in a beautiful level.
okay, so children love to engage with technology. So we have what we have a screen diet, just like having food. So we have a screen diet. We have times when we can engage with technology, and it's common knowledge across board. So the children know
They know.
when is necessary to engage and when it is not necessary to engage. So we have a diet. We have a healthy. We have currently, once is for me personally. Once it's past 9 o'clock, I log off all communications on social media. So that's personal till the next day, except it's very urgent till the
Except
next
it's
day.
urgent.
Yeah. For the children, they know. I mean, within the week, there is no engagement except it has to do with school. There is no engagement, only weekends. There's no engagement. Now, during the weekends, they now have access to engage. But each of those accounts or whatever it is they use, whether it's YouTube or whatever platform they choose to engage, we have parental accounts, and through those parental accounts, we create sub accounts for them. So irrespective of what they are doing, I have access to it. I can track the history of what they are watching. I can check out what they are doing. I can log them out of the device. I can log them out of the device if I don't want them to. And it looks as if that's what's happening. So we have, so we understand the access they have within weekends. Each of those platforms, we have parental accounts. We already have some parental guidelines that gives them access to certain materials within those platforms. And then within those platforms also, we can monitor what they are doing, and we can track what it is. So it's not as free as they think it is, because we've actually censored. Then another very important thing that we do is that we take time to engage with them. So the children don't just have access. Sometimes when they're doing things on social media, or not social media, on probably YouTube or whatever it is they're doing, I deliberately engage with them, sit down and watch them do it, so that it builds that comfort and confidence that daddy knows what we're doing, we do it together, and so it is not something I should hide from him. So whatever it is they are doing, they are not hiding from me, because they know we engage together. And then I come, I say, oh, what are we doing now? Who is this? What is this? And I start to catch up, because they also teach me what's happening. So I catch up with them, and then we discuss it on a very safe platform. And I say, okay, you know what? We can't do this. We can't watch this. We can't do this. And they ask me, why can't we do that? Because it's important to answer the whys. Very important to answer the whys, because parents don't like answering the whys. And why is it important? It's important because it is when you answer the whys that the child can do that thing even when you are not there. If I say greet Uncle Tayo every morning, the child will only greet you because I'm behind him. If the child asks me, why should I greet Uncle Tayo? And I say, oh, you need to greet him because he's an elder. This is the right thing to do. Then if I'm not there, the child has a reason to greet you. But if I'm only instructing, the reason why the child has to greet you is because I'm there. But the moment I'm not there, because I've created a reason, the child can go through that process and say, okay, this is the reason why I should greet Uncle Tayo. So with all of those engagements in technology, when children are asking, why should I not do this? Why should I do this? Why should I? Try and answer those questions. If you can't, tell them, you know what, I'll get back to you. I'll give you. But the moment you shut them down, they will just start hiding things from you. They can only tell you in front of you, okay, I won't do this. Or we're not supposed to watch this. In fact, what our children do is that when they even go to visiting or they go to see people, they tell the people there that we cannot do this. We can in our house, we don't do this, we don't do this. We're not going to watch this. We won't watch this. And then when they come to the house, they tell me, do you know, they were watching this. We told them we cannot watch. We told them we cannot, and we left them. Because they know the why. It's already there. So we don't need to force them. They already know what to engage with, whether we are there or whether we are not there. So that's it.
Awesome. Ma'am, you must have something to say concerning that. I want you to listen.
Yeah. So just to add to that, I mean, taking it from the beginning, when you said the kids, for instance, they know when to go into that space, except it's for school. So maybe there's what we call Google Classroom. Maybe they have an assignment to do on Google Classroom and all of that. But if not, the whole week, I mean, during the week, 2 hours is an agreement. So I wanted to buttress that we're in the decision-making process. You don't impose on the children. You don't impose on them. So I mean, it's I mean, we're not raising hypocrites. We don't want children that will only do things when we are there. So there, in fact, the older sister will have to remind the younger one. Sometimes we catch them, we walk into them talking, not like we're there. They said, "You are not supposed to do this. I'm going to tell daddy about it because you're not supposed to." So for us, we're like, "Thank you, Holy Spirit." We are still a work in progress, actually. But the fact that they have gotten that. So I just wanted to add to that we didn't impose it on them. We didn't say, you must not, no social media or no anything on technology or gadgets. We did not. We reached an agreement. We talked about the why, the reasons, the benefits, and all of that. And then there's a reward. The reward is for weekends. And then that weekend, like he said, it will be controlled and all of that. But what he was saying, they went to visit my sister and they stayed there for some time. When we got back, my sister was like, "What are you doing to your children?" I said, "What happened?" Said, "My daughter was consistently coming to report to her, calling his cousin's name, that his cousin is watching something bad. And in their hearts, as a matter of their values, they don't watch something like that." And that cousin is older than her. And she was, in fact, my older sister, she was like, "What have you?" And then he now was like mother, like daughter. That if you see the way she was, for us who were like, "Thank you, Holy Spirit." You know, when it's something that is working and we have to feed it. We were not there. We were not there. It was educating the boy that is about 4 years older than her, telling him that you can't watch that. We're not there at all. So I don't know if I'm going to get the chance to talk about this, but I thought I should mention it, that there will have to be a balance when it comes to this technology and the likes, because I have also noticed that in this space, most parents have used it as a bait. Most parents have used it as an engaging tool, negatively, an escape route. This thing called technology, it has to be well guided. That was why I said it has its advantages and disadvantages. I like to say that the one that is not well managed is beginning to take the time of effective family bonding time. It's beginning to take that away. So most parents, they leave their children with certain gadgets because they don't want to be distracted from what they are doing, especially in the heat of the pandemic, that parents had to work at home and children had to school at home. When they are done with their schooling, and I mean, they have to be free to do other things. You see parents, they say to them that still hold it. Why? Because they are busy. And then we see a family today that it is when they should have time together, and the parents are holding their tabs, the children are holding their Kindle or something, and everybody. So the family system is being affected. I don't know if that should be treated as a topic. I have a lot to say about that, to say that technology has a way of eating into family bond, that if it is not well looked into, as time goes on, the definition of family will change. And so don't forget, as the children grow up, what they grow with is what becomes of them. So you see one that would just like staying on his home, just comfortable with his gadgets, whatever it is, whether he's watching something bad or not, even if it is something good, even if it's a book he's reading on his phone. It is important to have a schedule. It's important to say that at this time, nobody is supposed to be doing this. I mean, I think Carl mentioned something like that, so that families can still bond. Families can still sit down and talk. There are a lot of things that happens when families stay together. Don't forget, you cannot have an effect, and you cannot have such direct effect on your children for everlasting or for a long time. Direct parenting has a span. It has a time frame. Your child is not going to be 10 forever. Your child is not going to be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 forever. If you miss a point, because we're talking about technology and all of that, it will be difficult to regain. This is a personal pain for me, because I hear young people who tell me, said, this has become their next love. They hold on so tightly to it, even if they're not watching anything bad. Some of them may be watching an innocent film, but the truth still remains that the human interaction has been replaced with this. And that is a
Hmm.
concern. It is a big threat to the family life union and parenting as a whole. So I don't know. I just thought I should check that in, but it's a whole lot actually.
Okay, so I'll just add a few comments to that, um, and that is the fact that technology is a tool, it aids performance, it aids. It's not to replace performance. It is to aid. It is
Yeah.
to leverage.
Yeah.
But what we are trying to do is we are trying to use technology to replace. It is to leverage. And because if like Miles Morrow will say, if the importance
Purpose
of
of
a
a
thing,
thing is not
abuse is
understood.
inevitable. And you see that the little ways when abuse begins, it gradually leads into addiction.
Yep.
And this is where we now have people being addicted to various platforms and behavioral patterns that are leveraged, on technology. So yes, so I think what she's saying, she has a point, but it's important that we understand that a car, for example, a car is a tool to take you from point A to point B. But when you start driving the car into your house or you start living inside the car, then there's a problem. It means you're addicted so much to that. And the car has lost its natural use, right? It has lost its natural use. So technology, yes, is to aid us and to help us. But when we become so addicted to it that it replaces the natural use of certain things, then I think there's a problem. And I think that discussion is something we should talk about sometime in
Yeah.
the future. Because a lot of people are addicted. To tell you how addicted people are, they wake up and the first thing they look for is their phone.
And their children are watching.
Yeah, it shows you an addiction. Some people cannot leave the house without holding their phones. They get so nervous, right? It shows you a level of addiction. Um, so it's very important that we also address that.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Our time is fast spent again this wonderful evening. We promised 30 minutes and it's already 9:46. Thank you so much. It's just amazing how time flies when you're doing something awesome. But we've come to the end of this wonderful edition of Technology and Parenting. And we've been speaking with Tim Carr from Lagos, Nigeria, Tim Clan, Chukwueke, and Florence Carr Ogu. And they are in charge of a great academy in which we're going to talk about. You see, in part of their presentation earlier, they were talking about their own role in their children's life. Their role, the seed in which they've sown, is what their kids are exporting outside. That many people are now looking for them to actually run with them. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we round up again this wonderful evening, I just want you to say one or two things with your product, your academic, those things you do day and night. How can people benefit from it? And your product. Over to you, Tim Carl.
Okay. Thank you. We realize that it's a process. Nobody has the template already. But it's just that a few people call themselves experts and they go the extra miles to make certain research, gather experiences, cases and all of that, and then come up with something. That's what we do here. So sometimes I tell them, I said, it's not as if we are teaching you, but we are giving you time-tested perspectives. So this is what we do for parents. We do for parents. We have what we call the smart parenting mind shift. In fact, the last edition we had, it was mind-blowing that most of the parents that attended say, when you are having the next one, we want to invite more people and be a part of it. Because you don't have to be proud. Let us talk about it. It's the reality. So we have that for parents, smart parenting mindship, because we have the Smart Kids and Teens Club. where we are in a partnership with parents. We are partnering with families because really we believe that no child is totally safe until other children are safe. So we can't just be doing this for our own children. We want as many children as possible to get access to this. So we have an academy that runs every 3 months. I mean, we have people that is like when you are in JS1, you go to JS2, JS3, grade 1, grade 2. We have a curriculum that runs for about 5 years to 18 years. That is huge. That's like a school. That's a school. So we have a curriculum that runs like that. As we speak, we have children in session already. So we have something for parents, and then we have this for children. For the parent, it is called the Smart Parenting Mind Shift. It is mind shift because an average parent has their own knowledge of what they think they should do. But every parent needs to consistently go through that mind shift to say that, yes, this is what you think, but this is the right thing. And then we have that for the children also. And God has been faithful over in fact, the feedback has been amazing. I must tell you, it has been amazing.
Thank
So
you
just
so much.
to
Awesome,
just
awesome thing, Carl. You want to say something?
yeah, I think why it's important for the parenting mind shift is because there's a parenting circle,
Mm.
and within the parenting circles there are different phases and there are different seasons, and there are different things you should know that would help you. It's a different thing parenting as a grandma. It's a different thing parenting as a first time parent. It's a different thing parenting a teenager. So within the different stages, there are different emotions, different mindsets, right, that you need to have to be effective in that stage. You can't use the mindset of a first time mother to parent as a grandparent. Neither can you say because you are a grandparent and you had parented before, you can just do that for a 21st century teenager. So there are phases and there's a circle. And it's important that we keep learning and unlearning. And that's why we would encourage people to be a part of that.
Wow, thank you so much, Tim Carl. Ladies and gentlemen, I can actually tell you that Tim Carl is the dream. You know, people go to America to say they are living an American dream, but I will tell you, Tim Carl is the dream. And that's why I wrote the book, You Can Be the Dream. It's behind me. Everything about my life is telling
Wow.
people how they can definitely be the dream. You know, people generally fall into three categories. We have a thousand billions of people, millions of people who really don't know what is happening. We have few who watch things happen, and we have many who watch things happen, and we have few who make
Make
things
things
happen.
happen.
Out of those 1% that make things happen are those who reach out, that find the flame that was decoded to them from birth. I'm talking about their biology, their physiology, their spirituality, and their environment, their sociology. They are the one that pay attention to those and find it and come up with something out of it, like the way Tim Carl has actually brought it. That's what You Can Be the Dream is all about. So if you want to find that flame that is inside of you from birth, those things resident inside of you, the 5 books that was given to you from above, because every woman that was given back to has minimum of 5 books inside of them. If you want to find those flames, you can contact me and you get those materials. It's not free, but you will talk. It's on the side. So, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of this
Thank
wonderful
you.
edition of Wildlife Jesus Christ for the Parenting Team Cap. One thing I can assure you is this: I thought we were done with technology, but with what I've read this evening, I realized that there's a lot we need to talk about. Instead of replacing, we have to talk about the aid instead of using tech to replace what is meant to aid our performance. And I know a lot of parents do that. Okay, log breaking here for so that they will be able to keep the kids busy while they can continue what they're doing, which is not supposed to be so. I want to thank everybody for joining us, and until
Thank you.
next 2 weeks, again we'll be joining you again to say you can be the dream. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
everyone
Bye
that
bye.
joined us on Instagram. And those who will see this video later, we want to say thank you. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bye.
God
Thank you.
bless you. Bye.